Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So my name is Sam, and every single week I post more videos of how to kill every single day. So basically just a little bit of personal development, productivity, even just like happiness, motivational boost. That's what we post here. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure to subscribe and always give this video a like as well. All right, so now more and more people are working from home, obviously because of this pandemic going around and just because more things are being able to be done in the comfort of your own home. So that's what I'm making this video for. I personally have been working from home for about the last year, 2 years. About 80% of my work is done online and about 20% is going to clients and going to different areas outside of my home. So I have been doing this for a while. Obviously it's vamped up and now I'm doing 100% of my work online the last couple months. So I want to give you guys some advice on how I manage working from home and making sure that it's effective. Because there's two kind of extremes from working from home. One could be that you don't get enough work done because there's too many distractions. There's the TV, there's the dog, there's, I don't know, maybe your cat, there's family members, there's so many distractions. But then on the flip side, you could find yourself working too much because there's not that end time of work where you say, okay, it's 5 o'clock, everyone's leaving the office, I'm gonna close my computer and I'm gonna go home. You don't really have that. You don't have that in working from home. So sometimes you have those two extremes, and I'm going to show you guys how you can balance both of them and have that happy medium of being effective but not too effective that you're working all day long. So the first tip is making sure that you have a designated office space. Now that office space could literally just be a dining room table and everything set up on that. Or your office space could be an actual room with a computer, a desk, and all of that. But it doesn't really matter what the structure is as long as it's a designated place for you to do your work. Now I highly suggest you take that designated space away from any distractions. So personally, my biggest distraction is my bed. I love being in my bed, I love sleeping, I love all that, so I cannot have my desk like right over there. That's an absolute no for me because I will easily just crawl right back in bed and think, oh, I'm just gonna sit in bed and do my work and this is gonna be harmless. But I know that I'm less effective in my bed. So I highly suggest putting it somewhere else, maybe actually having a designated office if you don't have space for that, maybe putting it in, I don't know, your living room. Maybe that could be dangerous because maybe your TV's there, but just think about personally you and what works best for you and your work schedule. Now, speaking of schedules, that's the next thing we're going to talk about. Making sure that you have a designated schedule. Work start time, a work end time, also what's going on in between there. Let's say you meet with clients like I do. I literally block out every single time that I'm going to meet with those clients. Or even if I have a break midday, I want to make sure that every moment is being productive. So I even block out that time and say, I'm doing emails from 10 to 12, or I am doing promotional flyers from 1 to 2. I make sure that my whole entire work day, whatever you designate your work day, if that's 9 to 5 or 2 to this or whatever, it doesn't really matter. But as long as you say, this is my designated work time and I'm going to schedule out every single thing. Now, if you're curious with that, there's calendar blocking and things like that. I highly suggest to look into that because that helps schedule out your day so much better. Now the next tip is making sure that you almost pretend like you're going into the office. So a typical day, maybe you wake up, maybe you shower, grab your cup of coffee, make some breakfast, get in your car and go. Obviously that last step you wouldn't do, but do everything up until that. Like for example, I wake up and I, change my clothes. That's super important because it says, okay, you're not sleeping anymore. Now you're waking up. Now you're in work time. And I have to admit, sometimes I slack on that just because I really do like comfy clothes, but even just changing into a more professional comfy clothes, it makes you feel like you're in the mindset of okay, it's work time, it's not sleep time now. So doing things like that, making breakfast, maybe making a smoothie. I really like oatmeal with banana, stuff like that, getting that all in the morning. So I feel like I'm kind of setting up my day and having that morning ritual. So I know that it's a work day and I'm not just sleeping all day or anything like that. All right, so our next one is really big because most of us, when we're working from home, sometimes there's other people that are in our space as well. And we need to communicate very effectively what we want our expectations to be. Like say, I am going to work 9 to 5, please don't interrupt me during that time. Maybe have a break during lunch and now I can hang out during that time. Or maybe you don't work 9 to 5, but you work different hours, or whatever your expectations are, make sure that you verbalize that to the other people in your home so they fully are aware of what you expect so you don't get distracted by them throughout the day. Now also we think about when we're home, we are kind of gotta designate that 9 to 5 and we gotta work all the way through. But no, designate yourself breaks, because in a normal work day, you're given maybe a 15-minute break here, a 30-minute break for lunch. So when you designate those breaks, do the same thing when you're home and really step away. So to help with that balance and really help you come back to the desk and feel productive and feel like you're gonna give it your all, take a break, maybe go for a walk outside, or take a break and completely do something different from sitting at your desk. If that's, let's say, what you do on a daily basis, sitting on your desk, doing emails, phone calls, whatever the case is, then get up and do something different because it will make you feel refreshed. If you just sit on the desk and scroll on your phone during that break, you may not feel as refreshed because you were still in that position all day long and you didn't have that change, didn't have that adaptation. Now also with having breaks, you also don't want to have too many distractions. So make sure that you shut off all notifications on your phone, unless obviously that is part of your work, but shutting off notifications, even just putting your phone in a different room, shutting off notifications on your computer, turning off the TV. And now my last and final tip is meal prepping. Now again, this might seem like a weird tip to be most productive when working from home, but if you have that 9 to 5 shift, and obviously I'm just saying that just because that's the normal shift. Obviously, as entrepreneurs, you might have a completely different shift, or as something else, you might have a completely different shift. But let's just say you have that 9 to 5, that 8-hour shift, and then you have a 30-minute break for lunch. Now you have to go ahead and cook and make food during that time. Now you feel like you're scrambling to get things done. You didn't have that moment to actually relax. So I suggest meal prepping at the beginning of the week, so then the whole rest of the week you can relax, just pull something out of your fridge, heat it up in the microwave, heat it up in the oven, and then go ahead and eat your lunch. Also throughout the day, having a really easy snacks, healthy snacks too, but just really easy snacks that you could just grab out of the cabinet and start, eating. That makes things so much easier, so you don't have to stop your work to go grab a snack or to go grab a drink if you're hungry. So just meal prepping that and having that kind of designated at the beginning of the week can be super helpful too. So with that, those are my tips on how you can effectively work from home. If you guys have any other tips that you kind of implement, I'd love to hear more about that, because as I mentioned, I do work from home very frequently, so I would love to hear more about your tips to try and implement that into my daily schedule as well. So with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.